They said it couldn't be done. A single road connecting the entire planet. Not countries, not continents, the whole world. And the strangest part? The biggest obstacle wouldn't be mountains, oceans, or money. It would be what happens to Earth after it's built. Imagine starting a road trip and never turning around. Just driving forward until you eventually arrive back where you started. Sounds impossible. But what if we built a highway directly along the equator? A road stretching roughly 40,000 kilometers around the planet. A ribbon of asphalt wrapping around Earth itself. But here's the strange part. Despite having more than 64 million kilometers of roads worldwide, there's still no single highway capable of taking you across the globe. That raises a question. If humans can build megacities, skyscrapers, and tunnels beneath oceans, why haven't we built the ultimate road? The answer gets expensive fast. A normal highway can take up to 10 years to build. Now imagine constructing one that crosses 3 oceans, 13 countries, jungles, deserts, mountains, rivers, and thousands of kilometers of open sea. To finish it in roughly the same time frame, construction would need to happen everywhere at once. The numbers are almost unbelievable. 8 million skilled workers, more than $9.2 trillion. And that's when things changed. Because engineers quickly realized this wouldn't just be the longest road ever built. It would also become one of the largest underwater structures in human history. And the deeper they looked into the route, the crazier the journey became. Picture yourself behind the wheel. The adventure begins in Ecuador. The engine starts. The road stretches endlessly ahead. At first, everything feels familiar. Tropical heat, dense rainforests, towering mountains, the mighty Amazon River. You pass through Colombia and Brazil while surrounded by some of the richest ecosystems on Earth. But here's the strange part. Most people fear the Amazon's piranhas. Yet they're far less dangerous than the road waiting ahead. Because soon, land disappears. And in front of you stands the entrance to the Great Atlantic Tunnel. A massive underwater passage carrying you beneath an entire ocean. Hours become days. Days become longer days. Nothing but tunnel walls and artificial lights. Then suddenly, Africa, savannas, rainforests, swamps, wild elephants roaming in the distance, gorillas hidden in dense vegetation, leopards stalking silently through the wilderness. It feels like another planet. But that's not even the craziest part. Just when the scenery becomes incredible again, the road dives underwater once more. The Great Indian Tunnel, another enormous stretch beneath the sea. And this is where it gets weird. Every time you think you've escaped the tunnels, another one appears. Eventually, Indonesia emerges from the horizon. 17,000 islands, volcanoes, rice terraces, tropical beaches. For a moment, it feels worth it. But ahead lies something nobody is prepared for. The longest tunnel of the entire journey. And what waits beyond it changes everything. After countless hours beneath the ocean, you finally enter the Great Pacific Tunnel. This isn't just another underwater passage. It's the monster, the longest stretch of the entire global highway. Day after day, you're surrounded by darkness, concrete, and endless artificial light. And then, land, the Galapagos Islands, a living showcase of evolution. Creatures found nowhere else on Earth. A breathtaking reward after weeks of driving. One final tunnel later, you return to Ecuador, exactly where the journey began. A complete lap around the planet. At 100 kilometers per hour, you'd spend roughly 400 hours behind the wheel. That's about 17 straight days of driving. But here's the twist nobody expects. 12 of those days would be spent inside underwater tunnels. Not admiring landscapes, not exploring cultures, just staring at tunnel walls beneath the ocean. And that's when the dream starts to fall apart. Because building this road wouldn't only change transportation, it could change the planet itself. Construction would tear through fragile rainforests, disrupt wildlife migrations, disturb marine ecosystems across entire oceans. The environmental impact would be enormous. And even after completion, the problems continue. A single trip around the world on this highway could produce nearly twice the carbon emissions an average car generates in an entire year. Suddenly, the greatest road trip ever imagined becomes one of humanity's biggest environmental dilemmas. So maybe that's why this road will never exist. Or maybe we're simply waiting for a different solution. Flying cars, aerial highways, something even more ambitious. Because if building a road around the world sounds impossible today, what impossible idea will become reality tomorrow? And if we eventually can build it, should we?